Hello, and welcome to my Gal Pastor channel. I'm Reverend Dr. Antonia Gonzalez, and I read history so that you don't have to. Wait, or is it so that you would want to? Either way, Christian history is a crucial part of my spirituality. I'm especially interested in seeing how people maintained and even nurtured their faith in God in difficult life circumstances, more primitive and challenging lifestyles without comforts we are used to. This is really the main object of my spiritual curiosity, how Christians throughout history thought about God and the Bible. That pursuit without fail broadens my own understanding and enriches my faith. As always, I hope that sharing each one of these Advent videos with you would have the same effect on your spiritual life and inspire you to deeper worship of Christ. So this Christmas season, I've curated a selection of marvelously insightful Christmas or incarnation-related texts from a variety of authors throughout Christian history. Theologians, preachers, monks, nuns, popes. So go older and go deeper and yet fresher with me this Advent. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so you would know when new Advent videos are out. We are starting in the 16th century Germany with a reformer of then Christianity, Martin Luther, and his Christmas Day sermon. The main passion of his being equal access for all to divine mysteries, and really an earnest desire to offer such populist interpretation of the word behind the pulpit on Christmas Day that his hearers, specifically regular German folk, whether struggling peasants or nobility, would be moved to understand that Christ is for them, that Christ is theirs. He wanted his message regarding the gift of God and the work of God on Christmas to resonate especially with those in meager circumstances. So this one goes out to all those across centuries who don't know or can't remember anymore amidst glitter and materialism and noise what it is that Christmas communicates about their place in the world, and even more importantly, what the birth of Christ has to do with them personally. Luther preaches, it is written in Haggai 2:6-7 that God says, I will shake the heavens, and the precious things of all nations shall come. This is fulfilled today, for the heavens were shaken. That is, the angels in the heavens sang praises to God, and the earth was shaken. That is, the people on the earth were agitated, one journeying to this city, another to that, throughout the whole land. As the gospel tells us, it was not a violent, bloody uprising, but rather a peaceable one, awakened by God, who is the God of peace. First, behold how very ordinary and common things are to us that transpire on earth, and yet how high they are regarded in heaven. On earth it occurs like this. Here is a poor young woman, Mary of Nazareth, not highly esteemed, but of the humblest citizens of the village. No one is conscious of the great wonder she bears. She is silent, keeps her own counsel, and regards herself as the lowliest in the town. She starts out with her husband Joseph. Very likely they had no servant, and he had to do the work of master and servant, and she that of mistress and maid. They were therefore obliged to leave their home unoccupied or commended to the care of others. There were no doubt many wives and daughters of prominent men at that time who lived in fine apartments and great splendor, while the Mother of God takes a journey in midwinter under most trying circumstances. What distinctions there are in the world! It was more than a day's journey from Nazareth in Galilee to Bethlehem in the land of Judea. The evangelist shows us how, when they arrived at Bethlehem, They were the most insignificant and despised, so that they had to make way for others until they were obliged to take refuge in a stable, to share with the cattle lodging, table, bedchamber, and bed, while many a wicked man sat at the head in the hotels and was honored as lord. No one noticed or was conscious of what God was doing in that stable. Oh, what a dark night this was for Bethlehem, that was not conscious of that glorious light. See how God shows that He utterly disregards what the world is, has, or desires, and furthermore, that the world shows how little it knows or notices what God is, has, and does. See, this is the first picture with which Christ puts the world to shame and exposes all it does and knows. It shows that the world's greatest wisdom is foolishness, her best actions are wrong, and her greatest treasures are misfortunes. What had Bethlehem when it did not have Christ? What have they now who at that time had enough? What do Joseph and Mary lack now, although at that time they had no room to sleep comfortably? The angel does not simply say Christ is born, but to you he is born. Neither does he say, I bring glad tidings, but to you I bring glad tidings of great joy. Furthermore, this joy was not to remain in Christ, but it shall be to all the people. We see here how Christ, as it were, takes our birth from us and absorbs it in his birth, and grants us his, that in it we might become pure and holy, as if it were our own, so that every Christian may rejoice and glory in Christ's birth as much as if he had himself been born of Mary, as was Christ. Oh, this is the great joy of which the angel speaks. This is the comfort and exceeding goodness of God, that if you believe this, you can boast of the treasure that Mary is your rightful mother, Christ your brother, and God your Father. Christ must above all things become our own, and we become his this Christmas.